There's so much more to electric mobility than just cars. And one of the things that affect the air quality in our cities the most are all the vans driving around. I recently had the chance to sit down with Hans Schep, the CEO of Ford Pro Europe, and talk about how electrifying the fleet of vans affect both the customers, the owners, and the drivers. We did this during the presentation of the Ford eTransit Custom because it's totally electric.
We really started focusing on the commercial vehicle market about, I'd say 10 years ago.
Okay.
When we relaunched our entire lineup and really focused on the 1-ton Transit Custom, the 2-ton Transit, but also the Ranger, and we started focusing on a commercial customer because we understood they're totally different.
Yes.
At the time, we were number 7 in the marketplace, and in 3 years' time, 2015, we were market leader, which we still are. So 7 years of market leadership.
Right.
But it takes more than just great vehicles, and that's what we really understood. And we want to, to take our leadership and accelerate.
Right.
And nowadays, it's not just about vehicles anymore; it's about the whole ecosystem around it. And obviously, we had servicing and financing around it, around the vehicle as well. But it's so much more now that we introduce electric vehicles and electric commercial vehicles.
Talk a little bit about how is it different, an electric vehicle ecosystem from a combustion engine ecosystem?
It's a totally different world. An electric van is not just a van with a different powertrain.
Okay.
Because first of all, it gives you, very different way of driving. It gives you actually much more comfort, and it's easier to do your job basically in the van.
Ford might be an American company, but the Ford eTransit Custom is designed for and built in Europe exclusively. It'll be coming to market late 2023.
But secondly, you've got so much data that you can start using not just to run your vehicle and run your fleet, but actually inform you about how to run your business. With telematics, with charging information, it's really a game changer.
I guess the economics of running a business also changes fundamentally when it's electric or when it's fuel-based.
Yes, it is, but there are more things to consider when you switch to EV, right? It's also what kind of footprint you want to have as a company, etc., etc. But also your cost of ownership can really drastically be influenced in a positive way in terms of different service cycles, obviously different fuel cost or no fuel cost, and uptime is really different with these vehicles as well. So
do you expect better uptime with these vehicles, or do you expect better uptime because of the services around Ford Pro?
It's actually both, but to your first point, also better technical uptime, let me put it that way, because of less moving parts, all right? Less wear and tear on parts. And also, what's interesting, electric vehicles are much easier to service. They don't have to go on a hoist that often.
Yeah.
You can actually, service them wherever you are. And that's interesting, right? Because mobile service is something we're pushing really hard on with Ford Pro. It's really odd, I think, that you as a customer have to come to us to get your, the thing you bought from us to get it serviced. I want to come to you and make that happen. And that's really good with EV.
What Hans is highlighting here is really, really important. Uptime for a van is much more than a comfort issue. It might be annoying if your car breaks down, you have to take it to the mechanic or you have to do the annual service. But for a van that's used in a business environment, this means money down the drain. The more time you can keep your van on the road, the more money you can make.
I guess some of the key components that suffer the most in a van, such as the gearbox, right? You're completely free from that problem.
It's that, but also simple things like brakes,
Yes.
and no clutch.
Yeah. Because city driving, a heavy van, fully loaded, heavy on the clutch, heavy on the suspension, heavy on the gearbox, heavy on those parts that,
Yeah, and we have to be fair and honest. So some use cases are not yet ready for EV, like heavy loads or hauling long distances. So but our what we see is that the capability of this eTransit Custom will really serve so many customers. I don't think many businesses realize yet how well it will be suited for them, but that will change rapidly.
Maybe you could talk a little bit about the use cases. What would it be a typical use case for a van like this?
Yeah, so if you think about it, this vehicle, it can tow 2,000 kilos. There's a payload of 1,100 kilos. you know, it's got a WLTP range of 380 kilometers. So actually, a huge portion of, you know, small fleets today and, you know, owner-operators would be fine to use this vehicle in their daily cycle.
Yeah. So are you talking with customers? Are you seeing them reluctant to change to electric? Do they have questions? Are they scared?
That's actually the best word. They're not reluctant because they don't want to,
no,
but they're not sure what to expect and how things work. And that's so important, right? So, and we just talked about it, right? So if I charge, where do I charge? How do I, where do I get the bill from? How do I pay for it? How does it work together with telematics? Because I hear I need to precondition the battery. What is that all about? And so, and customers don't want to go to, you know, a vehicle supplier, a charging software supplier, a charging hardware supplier, stitch it all together. They want to go to one partner that organizes that all for them, and that's why we founded Ford Pro.
Very good, very good. When are we going to see this vehicle in Spain?
And yeah, it will ramp up quickly after that. Yeah, but it's important to start talking about it now, because, you know, our customers need to start to understand how to go about owning and running an electric vehicle, an electric van, and we need to get them ready for that, and that's why we've launched today.
Okay.
Using an electric van in your business is about much more than just driving a different kind of vehicle. It's about the whole ecosystem around it. That's why Ford Pro Focus, not only on the vehicle itself, comes with a whole suite of software to manage your fleet, to manage your vehicles, to get ahead of the problems and not be surprised by them.
Thank you so much for your time here today. It was a wonderful presentation. We learned a lot.
Thank you very much.
If you run a business or drive a van, then I'd really love to hear from you. Do you think it's realistic to use an electric van in your line of work? Why not? Or what would be some of the challenges that you're facing? Have you already switched, or are you thinking about switching? Leave a comment down below and I'll read them all and I'll answer as many as I can. Hey, if you like this video, subscribe. There'll be plenty more. We'll be talking about vans, cars, and all kinds of electric motoring, because this is totally electric.